Hello, I'm here with a food cooking guru in the form of Jamie Gellar. Crazy excited, amazing superstardom going on over here. Now, ordinarily, in a normal time, I would stay here and wow Jamie and just whip all this up in about 2 minutes into 3 different courses that you can use for any meal amazingly. But today, mainly just because of Corona, I'm going to keep my distance. I'm going to be standing over there. I'm going to let Jamie do it because apparently she's also really very good at this as well. I'm going to be asking Jamie some questions off camera. So without further ado, I'm going to let Jamie get on with it. I've got my mask here, my butcher, Benny's. If you hear my voice, it's because I'm off camera.
Okay. Thank you so much, Rabbi Mays. I've been called many things, but never a guru, so I'll take that. I have a new title. Okay, so I'm going to show you how easy it is to put together a beautiful dinner. We're going to do my 3-ingredient salmon, 3-ingredient rice, and a 5-ingredient chocolate lava cake. Now, you can make this any night for dinner, or you can definitely save these recipes and use them for Shabbos. They're fantastic. The chocolate lava cakes are a favorite, in this house and in the world, so I hope that you'll love them as much as we do. So we're going to start with our salmon. Fish is so good, it's so healthy for you, and I feel like for some reason after gefilte fish, Jews are most comfortable with salmon. It's most familiar to them. So this is a wonderful twist on a salmon recipe that I actually got from a Japanese restaurant that I used to go to in Manhattan when I went to college there. So the salmon is butterflied, okay? But like a pocket. So we're gonna actually slice it in half, kind of like you're slicing a bagel, but not all the way through, okay? So you want it to be able to have like a pocket in the inside. Rabbi Mays, you following?
I'm getting it, I'm getting it.
Okay, good.
Pocket in half.
Yes, but not totally in half.
I'm sorry, pocket almost in half.
Yes, you're right. See how that's like still connected there? Because we're going to fill it in a minute. Boom. Okay, so super simple, super easy. That's where we are. Now, of course, you make as many fillets as you're having people for dinner, okay? So because I'm not by a sink, I'm gonna be using gloves on and off, so that we can keep things going and keep things moving. Seasoning is the most important thing. Salt, this is with all your cooking. Don't wait to the end to season. Season while you cook. It builds layers and layers of flavor. So here we're using kosher salt, right? Because any chef worth their weight is, every chef worth anything is worth their weight in kosher salt. So here we go. I don't even know if that made sense, but it sounded kind of cute. Did that make sense?
I think it made sense to
Right,
me.
like weighing salt, I'm not sure. Okay, so now we're gonna go with some pepper, but I always say, smile when you season, it's gonna taste better, okay? So very important tip, smile as you cook. So here we have our salmon, our salt and our pepper, and we're going to stuff it with avocado. So I'm gonna take the avocado, I'm gonna rock around the pit. Okay, the pit is our guide, and then we twist with the wrist. Always have a little garbage bowl or garbage stash nearby so that you can work quickly and efficiently. Now we're just going to score it using, again, the skin as our guide. We don't want to go all the way through because that will allow us to get nice slices that we scoop out. So using a spoon right here, we're going to scoop. I thought you were going to annoy me, Rabbi Mays.
It's mesmerizing. I'm just, it's unbelievable. Have you always been a great cook?
Not at all. I always say, the name of my first book was Quick and Kosher, Recipes from the Bride Who Knew Nothing. And when I got married, I didn't know the difference between a spatula and a saucepan, and I didn't care. So I was not raised, they say, to be a balabusta, but rather to be like a professional career woman. My parents were immigrants to this country, and the last thing they wanted me to be was in the kitchen.
So when did it all change?
Oh, when I got married, my husband said, "What's for dinner?" And I said, "I don't know, you tell me." And that's how it all started. But he's fantastic. He's amazing in the kitchen. He loves cooking, and he taught me how to cook.
So wait, he could really do this whole thing?
Except he does not like the camera. So he taught me how to cook. He still, to this day, we cook together in the kitchen all the time. He does all the shopping. He does all the prep work. And I do the fun stuff in front of the camera.
How does he know? How did he know how to do it?
Well, first of all, his mother loved cooking, his stepmother loved cooking, his father loved cooking, his uncles loved cooking. You know one of his cousins, we spoke about that before, and they all worked in catering and cooking and kitchens growing up. So that's how he got it.
So it's in the blood. It was kind of, they were just doing it at home as well. So it was very...
Yeah, his DNA, not mine.
Yeah, okay.
So I always say, if I can do this, anyone can do it. And that's why I always focus on few ingredient recipes that don't take a lot of technique or don't take a lot of time in the kitchen. I always say I'm the only cookbook author that wants to get you in and out of the kitchen quickly.
Wow, that looks amazing.
Well, thank you very much. So if you want to come in here to my cutting board and see what we've done while we were chit-chatting, it can be done while you're talking. It's not that hard, right, guys? So very few ingredients here, very simple, no major technique. We pocketed our salmon and we stuffed it with avocado slices. So take a look at that. Now we have to gingerly kind of move it onto the baking sheet or the tin. Can you see in there? Mr. Cameraman, are you able to see? Director? I'm lifting it up and I'm moving it in. Okay, oh, fantastic. That's where you want to be. That's where all the action is happening now.
With avocado and the salmon.
Amazing, amazing. And now also, guys, you can do the stuffing in the tin as well. That's normally what I do to keep it so we don't have to like gingerly move it. So normally if you're cooking at home, you would do the salmon. Once you butterflied them, you would move them here and stuff them in your baking tin or your baking dish. That was the word I was looking for. Or your baking dish. Disposable tins are fine, whatever's easy, okay, no pressure. But here, because I wasn't sure you'd be able to see into the tin so good, I did everything on the cutting board, so I had to just carefully move it over here into the tin. So now, again, remember we season the inside, you always want to season both sides, salt and pepper. And the third ingredient, when I went to this Japanese restaurant, they used to do this salmon stuffed avocado with teriyaki sauce on top, but today we're going to do it, so that's great, but today we're going to do it with some salsa. A little bit of a Mexican-inspired version. So it's about like a generous 1 to 2 tablespoons per fillet. And these are kind of appetizer-sized fillets. Once you stuff them with the avocado, they are a little bit more filling, but you certainly can do larger fillets as well. Okay, so here you go, 3 ingredients. So how does this match your cooking, Rabbi Mace?
It's not fair to compare, Jamie. No, it's different styles, different people. But yeah, it's amazing.
Okay, thank you. So guys, look how incredible you can be. I feel like this is a great dish to entertain with. Put it into the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, 200 degrees Celsius for about 20 minutes until the fish is opaque and it flakes with a fork.
Do you cook it open? Would you cover it?
Oh, open. Very good question. As we say in the industry, uncovered. Okay, I have a wonderful assistant here, my daughter. Bracha Miriam, honey, put this into the oven for about 20 minutes, and we're moving right along. We are going to serve a rice with that avocado stuffed salmon. This is a 3-ingredient Spanish-style oven rice to go with our 3-ingredient avocado stuffed salmon. It takes longer to say than it does to make. So this is my foolproof, fail-proof way to make rice. I have burned so many pots and really affected my shalom bayis so terribly by having to throw them out throughout my marriage that now I only make rice like this in the oven. Everyone is happy and everyone is full. Okay, so you're gonna start with some rice. You can use any rice you'd like. Even brown rice is great. You'll just have to double the cooking time. The rice goes into your baking dish or again, your disposable baking pan, whatever is easy. Now, the base of this recipe is rice, olive oil, salt, and there's one secret. Rachamir, sweetie, will you hit the boiling water?
Yeah.
We're doing a 1 to 2 ratio. Can you follow what that means?
Say it again.
1 to 2
I've
ratio.
got it, yes, 1 to 2.
Okay, so if the rice is 1.5 cups of rice, how much boiling water are we using?
3.
Very good. Who got that on the first try?
It's not just a pretty face.
Yeah, yes, right.
I'm sorry that we had to retake that 7 times. Oh, I mean, sorry, first time.
So let's give you a chance to redeem yourself. If we're going to do 3 cups of rice, how much boiling water would we need?
No one said it was going to be a test. 6.
Very good, very, very good.
6.
They said you were going to come and bother me while I was cooking, so I wanted to, return the favor. So the secret to this recipe, it's rice, salt, oil, and boiling water, okay? But how we're going to dress it up. Salt, pepper, oil don't count when I always tell you I'm doing 3 ingredients. Freebies are salt, pepper, and oil. So those are freebies. So the 3 ingredients here are rice. We're going to add to it chopped bell peppers. Use beautiful colors, if you can, or just one color, whatever you got. And the 3rd ingredient here, to make this just a little Spanishy flavored, is taco seasoning. Ooh. Okay? So that goes in. But you can kind of put any spices you like in here if you love. I have a homemade onion soup mix a lot of times. So I'll put that as the seasoning plus some onions. So all different things that you could do in here. So boiling water on top. We spoke about a 1-to-2 ratio, so it's 1.5 cups of rice and 3 cups of boiling water. Now the rice takes 20 to 25 minutes, so it should have gone in together with the salmon. The salmon takes about 20 minutes, and then we'll rest for 5 minutes. So your dinner is done all together. This goes in covered, for those who wanted to know.
In terms of, you started in America, you're in Israel now. How did that happen? I mean, I know that you come by plane, but how did it happen that you uprooted your whole life?
I did not walk here. We did land, and my husband kissed the ground when we landed about 8 years ago. It's always been a dream of mine, always growing up. My husband had the dream as well, and for him it just always stayed top of mind, and he always said, I want to move, I want to move. And so finally 8 years ago, we did.
Amazing.
Yeah, he worked on me for 5 years to get us here. And so this is one of his favorites, speaking about hubby, since he is really the impetus for Aliyah. Although I officially became a spokesperson for Aliyah. I have a Joy of Aliyah documentary. I fell in love with it, and every day to him I say, oh, Brian Spector, the director here behind the camera, did shoot that. He flew to America to capture our last 24 hours in America, to capture us on the plane, to capture us landing. It was really amazing. He made Aliyah with us. So, but hubby is the one who Israel was very real for him. It's the only place to live and the only place to be. And so we followed along, and quickly every single day I say to him, like, why didn't we do this sooner? And every day the dream is real. So we're going to reward him for that by making one of his favorite desserts. We're going to be making the 5-ingredient chocolate lava cake. So math again, 3-ingredient salmon, plus 3-ingredient rice, plus 5-ingredient dessert is?
11.
Is that right? Yeah, that's
yes!
right. Okay, you're good. Okay, fine. So we're going to start with more math for you. Who knew this was a math event? 4 eggs. We're going to whisk them in a bowl. Very simply, very easily. You don't need any special equipment for this. You don't need to pull out that stand mixer that I loathe washing all of those parts, so I just never use it. To that, we're going to add some rice, some sugar. No one caught that here.
You have teenagers here in Israel. What's
Yeah.
that like? And what do you maybe think of some of the challenges that they face while they're here?
I think teenagers face challenges all over the world, wherever you may be, not only in Israel, but certainly it's a difficult time. We all know that we were all teenagers, and I don't think anyone has ever said, I want to go back and I want to relive those years. I think they're probably some of the most challenging years of a person's life, when a lot of times you're discovering yourself, you have a lot of self-doubt. There is a lack of confidence. Are you a leader? Are you a follower? Where do you fall in with your friends? And so it's definitely very, very challenging. I'm just going to tell you what I'm doing while we discuss that. So what I did here, I'll just show you quickly, is 1 bag of chocolate chips, about 200 to 250 grams. So depending on the size of your bag, you're going to add to that, I told you, olive oil, my favorite ingredient, and it goes in dessert, and it goes amazing with chocolate. So either over a double boiler or in a microwave in 15-second intervals, just melt this until it looks like this. It's like glistening. Can you see that from so far away?
As it's blinding.
Right. Put on your sunglasses, everyone. So my teenager melted this for me. I love cooking with my kids. I think it gives them so much confidence in the kitchen. We have to help them have confidence wherever they can, wherever they feel like they can shine, and help them really find the things that they're good at and the things that they love. And when the chocolate is cool, okay, because you do not want to scramble your eggs. Very important. Few ingredients, easy recipe, just you would only mess it up if you put in hot chocolate into the eggs. So we're going to go ahead and slowly stream in our cooled melted chocolate into our eggs. Look at that, isn't that beautiful?
That looks pretty tempting.
Yeah. Don't eat it yet, okay? Raw eggs, not a good thing to eat.
I'm trying. Do you not then do chocolate mousses and ice creams because they've involved raw eggs?
Well, you can make them without raw eggs, and or you can make sure your eggs are pasteurized, or you can make a custard heated to a certain point. But I do shy away from that because I just think it's a little bit unsavory. It's not the healthiest thing, so you have to be careful with that kind of stuff. But there are ways to make mousses and things and desserts without the raw eggs. Avocado being one of those tips. So we were talking about Hakshiva. So Hakshiva is an amazing organization. that really empowers the teens. It's so important. They have found that it's so important to listen to teens. I think that that's the best thing we can do. And me saying this out loud is going to remind me that I'm going to do some special time tonight and just check in with my teens and see how they're doing. As much as they can talk, as much as you can listen, I think that's the best. And Hakshiva literally means listen, right?
Right.
So we want to listen up to our teens, to our kids, and we can prevent any challenges or any difficulties by being there for them with different programming and special, just in a sort of a very present way. And so I just put in some flour here. You guys, you can make this gluten-free if you want to put in some potato starch. That works just as well. And I have to say that we do it like that on Pesach, and it's an amazing, amazing dessert. So Hakshiva has a program with my girls in 8th grade. Both of my girls have benefited from that program, and they about once a week they get together and they go to a woman's house, and she makes delicious food for them. They love the food. They hang out, they talk about things that don't come up in school, and that year is a really interesting year because they go from being in 8th grade sort of the queens of the castle, like the oldest in their school, to getting ready for 9th grade and being the youngest in a new school and a new environment. And there's a lot of anxiety and fear going into that. And I think that Hakshiva program in 8th grade in the schools is fantastic for the girls and has really set them up for success going into high school.
Now, you mentioned anxieties and fears. I mean, obviously now we're in the middle of Corona, and what have you done, I guess, in your life, in your professional life or your home life, that maybe has tried to address some of the things that are going on in Corona and make it take the sting out and make things fun and make things exciting?
Well, first of all, it is such challenging times on so many levels. Obviously, health-wise, personally, professionally, relationship-wise, and this time has tried us in so many different ways. And I think more than making the time exciting, I think it's just okay to be honest with your kids when you yourself are feeling challenged or stressed or have anxiety and talking about it. I think there's a lot of stigma around mental health, anxiety, and to just say like, okay, today was a hard day, we're going through something, or today was a little bit more challenging, and showing them that it's okay to feel those feelings, to talk about them, because then it doesn't bottle them up and sweep them under the rug. And then sometimes after you talk about it right away, you feel better, or just tomorrow's a new day. And I think that is like Corona has given a lot of opportunity to show that all these feelings are normal and real, and it doesn't mean you're like in a depressed state that you can't come back from, but we go through these moments and then they pass. So that's kind of what we have done during Corona, and but in terms of being fun, okay, we're cooking a ton together, that's for sure. We are having a lot more family meals, that's for sure. Less people running in fewer directions at once, so it's been special. A lot of bonds between siblings have been built during this time. I saw a lot of siblings, the ones who share rooms, get even closer because they don't have their friends to go to, at a certain point. And so that's been really, really special. So I'm preparing now the ramekins for this dessert. You can also use disposable muffin tins as well. Okay, we want to spray these. Or you can grease them with olive oil too. I just find the spray is a little bit easier and less clumsy. And then we're going to fill. Now it's going to puff up. These are our chocolate lava cakes, and they're going to just definitely grow in here, and this is going to go in uncovered. So you want to fill it just 3/4 of the way full.
It's literally flour, eggs, and chocolate.
Count, well, 5 ingredients, so count them.
Chocolate with olive oil.
Yes.
That's 2.
2.
Eggs. That's
Yes.
3 or 4 eggs, but I'm counting them all as
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Flour.
Yeah.
4. And I've obviously missed 1.
Sugar. We whisked
Oh,
the sugar with the eggs at the beginning.
The non-rice, which was
Yes,
actually
yes.
sugar. Okay,
So,
fine, 5.
Again, you can make this gluten-free by using potato starch instead of flour. You can certainly make this dairy by using milk chocolate. Okay, so here we go, 1. Brian, you're catching all of this?
I am.
Good. 2. Now, depending how large your ramekins are, this can make 6 to 10. Okay? Hubby is eagerly waiting in the house for this.
See, when I was a kid, I would have asked my mum to leave 1 that didn't go in the oven, that I could just down, with or without the raw eggs.
Wow, I was going to say, with that much raw egg, a bite of cookie dough is one thing, but to down something like this, but I know it does look decadent and delicious, and it's going to be even more. We're going to do one more special thing to make this incredible, okay? So here, you have a chocolate cake, okay, but we're going to make chocolate lava cakes. So give me 1 sec, and I'm going to show you the secret. Because everything has to have a secret.
See, I
And
was-
then I like sharing it. I'm not the type that keeps secrets close to the vest. I really love to share my secrets and my tips.
Is that a real thing? My wife told me that
Yeah.
there's a real thing. People give recipes and then they leave an ingredient out so that the person can't actually successfully produce it themselves. Is that a real thing?
Step one is not giving the recipe at all. Okay, there are those. And then when that became like a feeling like a little rude or whatever, so then they'll leave something out because they want to be known for that special and famous for that. I just would love to be famous for helping other people make delicious food. So I'm not leaving anything out. All of my secrets, you know them now, okay? So we spoke about the boiling water in the oven rice and how not to burn pots. We spoke about how you put like 3 simple ingredients, salmon, avocado, and salsa, and make a delicious, very impressive fish. And now we're gonna go ahead and my chocolate lava cakes. Okay, this is the craziest part. Okay, so chocolate and chocolate, it all counts still as one ingredient. These are 50-gram squares of chocolate. I always say the chocolate lava cakes are for real chocolate lovers only. All others need not apply. Okay, so 50-gram squares of chocolate. Now you can use a smaller square also, by the way. If you're just like, want something crazy and decadent and unbelievable, you're going to put a 50-gram square in. Now, if you just want to be like a normal melty center, then just take like a normal chocolate bar and put like 1 or 2 squares in. But this is going to make the chocolate cake bake around it. You guys, you should see Rabbi Maze's face right now. He's like, what is happening here?
I need a restraint.
Okay, the chocolate cake is going to bake around this, and this square of chocolate in the inside is going to be melted and ooey and gooey when you bite it, okay?
And now my line. How long does it go in for?
I actually almost forgot to tell you guys, 8 to 10 minutes.